We've got what a great show we have for you today. I was really hoping to interview this homeless guy, Kevin, I met at the Metro, but he's got to work today. But another friend of mine, he got the day off, and just to be on this show. So, ladies and gentlemen, look at this. I can't believe this is the biggest audience I think we've ever had. How about a big round of familiar faces in the crowd as well. Hi, thanks for showing up. And so let's get on right away to our first guest. Our first guest, you've probably seen him at the home shows, you've seen him at the fairs and exhibitions. A good friend of mine and a big hand, Mike Noble.
Didn't expect that.
No, you didn't. Mike, thanks for being on the show today. You took the day off work. Normally you'd be working today.
Yeah, I'd much rather that, but that's...
Well, no, I appreciate you taking this time.
Anytime.
And what I want to talk to you about, because you've been pitching now for how many years?
Started in 2009.
And can I ask you quickly how you got into it, what your first job was?
Cashiering.
Cashiering, yes.
I cashiered for Smith and Laura on the sweeper, so that was interesting.
Yes, I bet it was.
That was interesting. Laura Badali's
Yes.
Sorry, Miss her, please.
Yes, and tell me what your first time pitching. What did you think about it?
Honestly, it was difficult. It wasn't the pitch that I knew about. It was more of the money. Seeing all the money that was made, and that's what intrigued me, and I'm like, I'm going to get good at this.
The difference, in your opinion, between a demonstration and a pitch?
A demonstrator knows how to demonstrate products, but they don't know how to control crowds. And that's where pitchmen, they know how to control a crowd, they know how to get you excited about a product, build a tip, roll a tip, get in the lineup at the till. And there's something to be said about that high when you have a nice crowd and then you get them to line up and buy. It's just, and that's what keeps us coming back.
Getting them to buy on cue.
Yeah, exactly.
And tell me some of the things you've learned over the years.
Well, learned all sorts of stuff from all different people. You know, like Smith taught me a lot of stuff, especially that first year. I really got to see all the things not to do. And then, I'm just kidding. He taught me about a lot of different things, about how to get them excited, how to get them to, nod and how to close. And then other people taught me things too. So like Bobby Cat taught me about painting the picture, making them realize how they'll use it at home. Bob King told me, if I'm giving away something for free, make that more valuable than the product that I'm actually selling, because then they want to buy the product just to get the free item. And then closing and all that kind of stuff. It was, there's a lot of things to learn. The first 5 years is just more or less learning. And then the next 5 years is like perfecting. And I love the pitch.
Yes. Now you've sold the sweeper.
Love the sweeper. Yeah.
You've sold the steam mop.
Yeah.
Now you've sold a stick mop.
Well, something like that. Yeah.
But a stick vacuum. Yeah. Have you ever sold anything that didn't have a stick on it?
I'm no good at those. No.
Yeah.
I love the wine kit. Probably my favorite.
Again, short stick.
Yeah, short stick. But that was probably first time I saw that gum, I just fell in love with it. To be honest, it was just one of those gums that was just so magical. And so well done. Jay Spalding did a great job with that.
Is there a show that it does better at, like fairs versus home shows?
That product does well as long as it's got. If it's a show about gifts, like Season Show, it does great because it's a good gift.
It's a perfect gift.
Perfect gift product. Yeah. But if you got the right pitch guy on it, like Jay Spalding just proved that it doesn't matter. All that matters is the story that you put behind it. And you get the charm that he had with that product and the crowds that he would build. It was mesmerizing to watch, and just being able to take that. And the year before, I saw that product and it wasn't selling at all because the guy had no idea what he was doing. And then Jay Spalding jumped on it and changed the whole path of that product. It was fantastic to watch.
With all the changes going on in the world after COVID and the internet and everything, Amazon, what direction do you think the pitch is going into?
I think Pitchmen as we know it has changed, is altered for sure. Pitchmen that like everyone that's here, I mean, been pitching for some of these 20, 30, 40 years. It's not like how it used to be. It's more, influencers and that kind of stuff, and it's really changed the dynamic of the way the pitch is. But also, the shows aren't the same as they used to be. They're just not drawing the crowds that we used to have and that kind of stuff. So it's really, we have to adapt and evolve and become, like, try and change with the times. And I don't know what that means, but it's definitely, like, it's something. I don't know.
Yeah. Shows, I mean, some shows, there's still a lot of money out there. However, some of the good shows have become a little spotty lately. And what do you think's going on there?
That's just if people have to spend $20 for parking, $20 to get in, just to go shopping, they're going to stay home and do it on Amazon. And that's just that's where I think the promoters got to step up and figure out what to do to change that, to get people to come on out to these shows. Economically, things are all messed up right now, and they'll come out. I believe they'll come out again. It's just a matter of giving them a reason, a purpose. And then when they do come out, it's our job to get them to, open their wallets.
So you don't believe the industry is dying?
I think the pitchman is there. I just don't think there's enough people that are doing it like it used to be done. The way it used to be done is that charm that, like Bobby King, he has this amazing charm, right? Most sorry.
Bobby doesn't have to be on for a few more minutes.
No.
It's okay.
But there's certain guys, like I watch Leanna and Dave Barrett and Ronnie. Is like all these people have this magic about them, and it's just like I don't see enough new people that are coming in that have this kind of magic, or if they do, because show business is so tough, it's just they go somewhere else.
Have you ever watched one of my demonstrations?
I'll have to catch it next time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. No, because it's improved.
It's good, yeah.
Since the last time you watched one, I think. Yeah. We can. But so your favorite product to work? Would it be the brooms?
The brooms have got a special spot for me, yeah, for sure. But favorite product to work? I mean, the most fun I had was on the wine kit. Like just, working certain shows and just like, just the laughter and the enjoyment that everyone had. I love that product itself. But the brooms have just got a special spot for me. I mean, I just love the pitch. Any time that, like I said, you build that crowd and you get them all hanging off of every word.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're selling, just that kind of relationship that you create.
Yes.
There's nothing like it.
And I agree with you, present company excluded. The pitch is, there's a lot of people that new into the business, that they were never trained by Plate Glass Robbie, Rock, Blackie Miracle, Ronnie Rundle, Gordy Rundle, Bobby King and stuff. And there's a lot of new people coming in that are in fact doing demonstrations without, and nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a good demonstration. And I mean, I see influencers on YouTube that are great. They got great personality. So I think YouTube is bringing out a lot of personalities. But you're right. At shows, that old time pitch of taking them from down here where they don't want one to here where they're thinking about it to here, well, maybe they will, to the cashiers over there. That is, I think, a dying art that I don't see anymore at the shows.
Oh no! It's almost like
present company excluded.
it's almost like they've got to figure it out because nobody's able to train them. Right?
Yeah.
Nobody's able to teach them how to do things. And I'm definitely very fortunate to work with so many great people in that aspect. And I think there's a lot of good people out there. Just got to figure it out.
Some of your favorite pitchman lines. I know that some of these questions, all these questions are sort of, I'm just bombarding at you. We didn't plan on this. We didn't talk about it either.
What's some of my favorite pitchman lines? I mean, there's the whole, but wait, there's more, obviously.
Sure, love that.
When it's done right.
And people love that line.
They do. It's such a stupid line.
I mean, if you don't say it quite often, they will.
Exactly. The reason why I like it is because, like, if you do it right and you time it right, and then you say it, they all laugh, and it
loosens up their pocketbooks.
Yeah. Well, that's it, right?
Yeah.
Favorite lines? I don't know if I have favorite lines. I can't think of anything off the top.
I'll be back.
Thanks.
Those who didn't hear it, I'll be back. Bobby's choice, yeah.
Are you talking about my favorite lines or the customer's favorite lines?
This one you made.
Okay.
We all enjoy that one for sure.
Can you sell it on Amazon?
I mean, I think one of my favorites was.
You don't have to buy anything.
Yeah. That's one of my favorites too. It's
What
just
was
like it's to bring people in. Is people are like, oh, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. I always like to say, you don't have to buy anything. Nobody else does. Right?
Yeah.
And that kind of like loosens them up, and they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what? I'll watch.
Okay, now that we're on this subject because it was brought up, what are the worst lines from customers like "I'll be back"? Then you have a card. What are some others?
Well, there's things like, oh, I've seen it before, and it's like the first time they've ever seen this product.
Yeah.
This first time this product's ever been seen. It's like, oh, I've seen it before. Or, I got one, it doesn't work, that kind of stuff. Even though they don't have this one, they have something like it or whatever, right? So those are the kind of things that I'm not a big fan of, but whatever.
Yeah, well, that's keeping your cool throughout a day. I find it's never the person that you not get mad at, but maybe sound off on. It's never their fault. It's the 300 before them.
Well, yeah, if it's the straw that breaks the camel's back kind of thing, right? It's like that one customer you just got to lose it on.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of the whole you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
Right? So there's going to be certain people that can come up. There's nothing you can do. They're never going to buy. There's other people. You could mess up the demonstration. They'll still buy. It doesn't matter, right? So that's one thing I learned. Just move on.
Yeah.
Go on to the next step. Don't let it go.
And Rick, what do you think is more important, a strong pitch or a strong close?
Strong close.
Totally.
Yeah. Strong close.
Yay.
Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
No, you got the right answer. Yes.
No, strong close, because if you got a good demonstration but you don't know how to ask for the money, forget it. But if you know how to ask for, like, I remember Chris and Maya, they had a girl working for them doing the water management, and she was with them for like 15, 20 minutes, and she didn't understand the demonstration. You just show them quickly what it does and then said $20, and they would just give her money, and they don't understand because she wasn't doing the full dem, but she was just asking for the money, and that worked. Right. So you got to get close.
I have some other couple of questions for you, but we're just going to break for a quick commercial break from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Hi, James Cheney here with the all-new Clever Sharp Pro. Made with full metal body and featuring the all-new honing plate. Stop struggling with the blunt knife in your drawer when it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Get the professional MasterChef edge every single time.
Okay, we're back with Michael Noble, who took the day off work. Mike, what are you doing? I mean, you're a pitchman, of course, but in the off time, you're doing something else. Did you want to do a shameless plug?
No. Right now I'm doing a lot of fencing. It's specializing in like maintenance-free products because everyone's sick and tired of their wood fences falling down or getting out and painting and staining. So I do vinyl products, composite, aluminum products, that kind of stuff, and it's been very lucrative. It's just because with show business, as you know, you only work 120, 150 days a year, so you need to do something else to stay busy. So that's what I do.
And so you're specializing in fence?
Mainly fencing.
In what area?
Everywhere.
Okay.
Greater Toronto area.
Greater
Toronto area.
Right.
So
and if somebody did want to get in touch with you, did you want to give a number or something, or? Well, you never know. It could happen.
Well, I mean, I thought
my show, by the way, I don't know if you're aware of this. My show can be seen in over 125 countries around the world.
Yes.
Yeah. The fact that it isn't is a little marketing glitch. That's my problem. That it could be.
I don't need to go to that many countries. I just need, GTA.
You're looking more local.
Yeah.
So a number, an email?
Sure. I mean, Magnum Decks and Fences, 905-718-2775. Mike, give me a call. I'll come on out. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Very good. Mike, I want to thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you.
And we're going to be right back with another special guest. Actually, we're filmed on location in this gentleman's home. I'd like to introduce a very dear old friend of mine, Mark Holman. Mark? Mark, I don't have to thank you for showing up today because you were already here.
Yeah, I love what you've done with your studio here.
Thank you, yes. Thank you for allowing us into your home. Looking forward to the luncheon, which Jill is preparing now. Oh, you told me a story a week ago, I think now, about some mounds of dirt you found on the side road, and there was several of them. All right, I don't know if anyone knows, but there was mounds of, and when you and Jill went through them, you found what looked like burned human bones. Okay.
Yes.
Can you tell everybody about this story, because I think it's fascinating.
Jill called me and she said, last night the dog was going crazy and you were in the bathroom so you didn't see it. That's part of the story every time. And so the dog's out on the back deck going crazy, and she looked over the edge of the hill and she saw a truck with a trailer, and she assumed they were dumping garbage because people dump garbage on our road all the time. So she figured in the morning, I'll just go down and clean up the garbage. I left to go window cleaning. She called me and she said, there's no garbage, but there's a pile of dirt. And I was walking the dog, and every 50 yards on our entire road, there's a small pile of dirt. Well, that's kind of odd because it was pitch black when they were dumping this, and it's all along 2 kilometers of road. Every 50 meters, there's a pile of dirt, same size, with a tire track through it. So Jill, wanting to be Harriet the Spy for her whole life, she decided to dig through one of the piles of dirt.
Yeah.
And she took a trowel and she filled a plastic bag with dirt, and she brought it home and she strained it all out and washed it and sieved it through a strainer, and she came up with a pile of hard things in the dirt. And she called me and said, "What do you think this might be?" And she said, "I think it's burned bones." And she was talking to our daughter, and she mentioned this, and our daughter Googled, what do human bones look like after they've been burnt? And she sent back a picture, and it looks exactly like what we have found, what Jill has found in the piles of dirt on the side of the road. So she called the police, and we went into the police station, and we found a sympathetic police detective, and he came out to the end of our driveway, and we went all along our road every 50 meters in these piles of dirt with his blue gloves on, sorting through all of these piles of dirt, and we never found another single hard thing in the piles of dirt. But Jill still has her piles of burnt bones that she found in the one pile. So if anyone out there listening in your viewing audience is missing a relative and thinks that they may have been dismembered and burnt and dumped on the side of a country road in Campbellville, we have the bones.
And for anybody that's living in Scarborough, thinking of moving to Milton, to get away from all the dangers, save the troubles, you're fine where you are. Mark, that's a great story. I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. Can I just interject? My favorite line ever, my favorite 2 lines,
Yes.
you were asking, Mike, my favorite 2 lines are, some we sell, some we give away free, which I learned from you.
Yes.
And then Leanna Allen's famous line, well, there you have it. And there you be.
That's the news. That's the way it was. Mark, thank you very much. We'll be right back after this message. We're back, and my final guest today, I wish we had so much more time, but we don't, because your attention span is limited, and I know that. So, my next guest is this man. He goes way back. He goes back to the early 1700s, and Bob King. Yeah, okay. Nice to have you, and nice to see you. Now you've got a little stint coming up. You've got 14 days at Mapleview Mall.
Yeah.
What?
Looking forward to it.
I bet you are. And you're going to be selling the magic pens there for Christmas.
Right.
So if anybody is looking for a great gift for kids of all ages,
Any age,
3 and up, 3 and up, the magic pens are an oldie but a goldie. Bobby, Ron Popeil.
Right.
What do you know about him?
Well, This is a little bit of story. My wife just said the other day that my oldest son, who's 56 years old now, I think, he gave me a little recorder and he wanted me to put some little stories on it for him, so he had them for memory. And one of the stories I was starting to record for him was when I got a job. Well, I didn't get a job from Ronnie Popeil. Ronnie Popeil, when they came out with the Chop-O-Matic, he came up to Calgary, Alberta, to the Stampede and trained a worker for my father who had the rights to the item at that time. And I was just a kid, and I was the prop. I got the booth ready and the vegetables and package of stock, etc. And a couple of months later, the Peony started out in Vancouver, which in those days was 9 days long. And a friend of ours, Hugh Copeland from California, he got the location in there for the Chop-O-Matic, but he didn't have a worker. And he called my father and asked if Dad had a worker, and he said, no, the fellow that Dad had got trained by the Popeil, he needed for the rest of the season. But he said, my son Bobby, who's been working with him for a couple of months now, he can sell these damn things pretty good, and he'd probably be available. So I ended up getting the job out at the P&E selling Chop-O-Matic. And my end, this is a funny story, part of it, my end for the 9-day show, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I wasn't too hep on money yet, and my end was $5,500. And I think, I'm not sure if I'm right, but I'm pretty sure we only got in those days 15%. It's not like nowadays 25. And my end was $5,500, and so based on that, the other day I happened to look on the YouTube, because I forgot how old I was myself, and I looked up on YouTube, when did Ronnie Popeil bring out the Chop-O-Matic? And it turned out to be 1956, which made me 12 years old.
12 years old.
So
And yet China gets all the heat.
And I didn't realize myself how young I was at the time, but I had to go back to school the next day. I recall that quite vividly. And I just made $5,500 for 9 days, and the teacher at that time, I think, made $7,500 a year. So it cut into my education. And, that was all. I just wanted to tell you the story.
That's a great story, Bob. Thank you for being on again.
Pleasure. It's a pleasure.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is ShowTalk, not Showtime, and we'll see you down the road.
Yeah.